It's definitely the case that most of the cable networks are seeing erosion that outpaces reduction in subscribing levels to cable services, cable satellite services. In other words, we're seeing the rise of the skinny bundle. Now, it's not huge, but I think many investors and many people in the industry have long foretold concerns around cord cutting. And that was always both an incomplete and an incorrect argument. Consumers generally have expressed a need to retain their cord, for lack of a better word, with the incumbent distributors of video content. But those incumbents, of course, include broadband providers of all types. Because at the end of the day, the stickiest piece of the bundle and of the cable system, if you will, is the broadband. So consumers are not giving that up, and they're typically retaining the free-to-air broadcast networks that are delivered over those systems. The consequence of this is that a consumer may reduce the package that they're subscribing to, but they're going to retain the broadcast networks. And what it does is ultimately reconcentrates viewing in the hands of the broadcast networks. Ad tech has generally been out of favor among investors as they've come to understand or understand better the industry. I think the understanding among investors around the sector is poor, which is arguably why some of these companies got out and became public in the first place. But the reality is that some of the better quality companies aren't necessarily public. And so investors have a very narrow lens through which to look at the industry. When growth rates subsided, costs remained high for sales and marketing or other expenses, investors did not quite take a shine to it. So you do have a standout in the form of, say, Criteo. You have certainly Rubicon and TubeMogul, which have done reasonably well, but a lot of the other companies in the space have fared poorly. And as a result, relatively few other companies have much of an appetite to go public at this point in time, and they remain private. But I would say that the bigger picture trend is that there are more buyers than ever for companies that are touching this space, and it is the case that we're seeing the Oracles of the world, the Verizons of the world, the Telenors of the world, Singtel, telecom data software companies, all of them have an interest in monetizing their businesses through different forms of advertising related activities. And ultimately that is what supports capital returns, if you will, to the original suppliers of capital to ad tech and marketing tech.